What's happening, everyone? Aaron Jackson here, aka Rotation Report. This is not financial advice. Do me a damn favor and take the hint. Lots going on these days, and so I think where we want to start is 2 weeks ago, right? We had the Trump tweet, and that really broke the momentum in the market. Every growth stock was just obscenely rallying, right? Just an awesome, epic rally, epic moves everywhere. And that tweet kind of broke the momentum in the market. And then you go to last week, we have the fears about credit contagions and all that shit. And, you have a comment here, a comment there, the fear builds up a little bit. But in reality, when you get into the bank earnings, it's just not as bad as feared. Actually, the consumer is doing better, and it happens every earnings season, right? The consumer is not as bad as feared. The economy is not as bad as feared. And, everyone's fears are generally overblown. So that's basically where we are here. And right now, a lot of momentum has just been, like we were saying, taken out of the market, needs a little time to breathe. You're going to see that in a couple of these charts coming up. But let's start with the S&P 500 advanced decline line. You'll love to see it leading the market to new highs. It had kind of diverged a little bit, but now you're seeing a little bit of rotation, right? And now, boom, new highs in the S&P 500 advanced decline line. And then everybody wants to know about the AI as always. And yeah, we're keeping an eye on this mid 270s area and Oracle, right? Because we're really not getting any hyperscaler earnings until next week. And that's going to be a big deal, right? Busy week next week. You got the hyperscaler earnings. You've got a Fed meeting in there. And then is the Trump and Xi meeting supposed to happen? They're saying maybe next Friday. That's going to be big. And we just don't know. There's headlines in the tape today. Oh, well, maybe there won't be a meeting. So we don't know. But back to the Oracle, like we're getting the first little bit of data center readout tomorrow morning. Vertiv, VRT. I think we talked about that here maybe last week even. But we'll see. But you can see nice spot in Oracle here. Everyone's worked up about Sam Altman and Jensen running around signing deals. But the reality is, yeah, sure, they're signing deals. But Oracle is building data centers across the globe. Everybody wants them, not just Sam Altman. And then next up, we got this little tricky spot in the market here where the credit spreads, the bond market, you're seeing a little bit of stuff that makes you go, what's going on here, right? And the credit spreads are not supposed to tell us anything. We saw that in the spring when they had this little fake breakdown here. And then you're like, oh no, a fake breakdown. These guys, they're like the security guard meme, right? That old guy who's like barely, he's barely checking, people as they enter the wherever. The concert, whatever. And so when it tells us anything, when it shows any sign of life, definitely a problem because these things are not supposed to tell us anything. So we definitely want to be mindful of the junk bonds, the credit spreads, all that stuff here. And you can see the JNK, it's a real interesting spot here. Big loss on that recent decline. And now we're just back into this kind of pivot zone. And, if the market's going to go higher, why can't it go higher? But it doesn't have to, and there is a chance, there is a risk that if China's like, screw you guys, we're going home, that things can unwind further. We've got junk bonds versus long-term treasuries here, and the treasury market, man, really strong. But interestingly, this kind of risk on, risk off tell is just continues to roll over. We're like at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-month lows. So we'll see if this pivot holds. We tend to think it will. More on that in a second. And then next up, we've got the China, the CQQQ. Very interesting. We're starting to get to some buy areas here. Like I think it stands to reason Trump and Xi are going to work out a deal. Everyone needs to inflate and then go, combat that way. But maybe not. But for now, man, CQQQ. If there weren't these headlines and fears and all that, I think people would be like, yo, load up the truck on China tech here. And, Baidu is very interesting around here. We'll see. But very interesting because everything, aside from a little headline risk, is exactly what you'd want to see. And then everyone's worried about these, these risks and financials and, private equity. Very, very questionable. Do you want to say, hey, is it some scams, some schemes going on here, some bad debts? Sure. Do you want to say, hey, wait a minute, are the data center going to have all that funding? Is that going to work? Is there going to be profitability in the AI? Are they going to be able to pull all this off? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So private equity definitely right here. Keeping an eye on it. It's tied to like a lot of things. It's tied to Bitcoin and your junk bonds, etc. And here we go with Bitcoin. So the one thing that gives us a lot of hope here is when everyone was freaking out last Friday about the regional bank contagion and all that, Bitcoin refused to break down. So again, everything kind of hinges on this 107, 108 area, 108K area in the Bitcoin. Can it continue from here? Because there's a lot of voodoo out there, whether it's via time or via certain price charts that, this early October high 126 plus is just massive stuff. So I think there's two ways to play this. You want to buy a dip and shoot versus like this 107-ish area, 105-ish area, something like that. Okay. Or alternatively, you can just wait for like clear break of that recent high. And then we're talking cooking with gas. We're talking maybe 150K, 200K, big stuff. I mean, it would break a lot of people's brains if it did crack to new highs here. But it's not going to be so calm, I don't think. I think it's going to be a very explosive resolution either way. So certainly keeping an eye on that. And then we've got Bitcoin miners. Are they Bitcoin miners or are they AI infrastructure? Who the hell knows? But you got this little intraday little top look, and it's kind of hanging in there. But, we'll see how that goes because this high is a key extension target area. You break this top down, and you're looking at this mid 40s area, and that's another extension area. So, there's a reason to believe like this can be at 45 in a week or two. So time will tell. And then here's Bitwise 10 crypto index fund, and this is a lot of Bitcoin. It's some Ethereum, and then sprinkles of Ripple, Solana, Chainlink, those sort of things. And again, nice little key low to shoot against there. But you can see we got some serious work to do. Let's see where this thing closes the week. We need to see a few more updates, like so many other things, like your JNKs and your private equity. All those things it's all kind of the same deal here, right? We want to see more strength. We need to see more strength. Are we going to get it? We'll see. We'll see. And then, so a lot of these trades that we've had, they're pretty used up at this point. Lithium was an awesome setup going back all the way to April, whenever. Look at that. Look at that little fake breakdown. You got that little base. Now you got that rip. And now easy money's been made. I think this 58 zone is definitely a resistance level to watch. Doesn't mean the trade's over. It can. It just means but for me, it's like, okay, this earlier trade, it's pretty much done. What else do we want here from it? So definitely maybe a trade here or there, but you're definitely, the easy money's been made again. Then we've got rare earths. It's the same basic trade. There's a lot of the overlap there. Again, just look, had your nice rep, your trade, your setup. Now back to the old resistance zone, a lot of supply around there. Now what are we doing? I don't know. And then shockingly, actually, look at this move in metals today. I know last week they had raised margin requirements. And boy, you raise the margin requirements, that always leads to some sort of sell-off in the metals like gold and silver had that. I don't know about any of these other ones, but they are trading in sympathy with that. Uranium miners already at the rising 50-day moving average here. Kind of surprising. You would think it gets bought here. You would think so. We will see. But then there's plenty of rotation going on here. Check out transports. Okay. The big theme to me right now is, like we were talking earlier, economy is not as bad as feared, and it's happening again. And this looks like a consolidation since July in the transports. And it's like, we're building shit. They got plenty of government spending coming down the pipe, plenty of data centers being built, power infrastructure, all of that sort of stuff. And so why not transports? The XTN just looking pretty spicy here. And so I think the bigger picture is at the moment, are we rotating into the economy is fine stocks? That might be the big deal here. And let's see, is there anything else we want to talk about? I don't think so. But, the other side of the economy is not as bad as feared is that another reason for the gold trade to just chill out for a while? Okay, everyone's feared about credit contagion. Oh my God, the economy. Actually, it's the opposite, right? So I think that's a great place to end it here. I would like to say thanks again for tuning in. And if you like the video, do me a favor and like the video. And until next time, everyone have a great day.